I am back with an unboxing and first look of the Pixel 5a 5G. Now this is the latest budget powerhouse from the folks over at Google. So if you're looking for a quality budget phone, this might just be the one. So let's get to it. If you have been following Google for the past few years or so, maybe even bought a Pixel device, you might be thinking to yourself, wow, this looks exactly the same? Well, you wouldn't be wrong. However, it's not like we don't see companies ride the same design for a few years in a row, especially if people like it. Now, I personally think this design does look good, and it all started with the Pixel 4. This 5a is again made with an all-metal design just like its predecessor, and it is also covered in a thick coating over it, which gives it a nice smooth feel all around. It almost reminds me of my Korean countertop at my last house. That's not a bad thing. And looking around the device, not much has changed. You have your power, your volume rockers on the one side, and that power button does have a cool little color. Nice little touch there, Google. On the left side, there is just a SIM tray. On the bottom, you do have your speaker and microphone cutout along with the USB-C port. And on top, you have a microphone and, oh my God, a 3.5mm headphone jack? Still? Also, I want to make sure I do mention this. Unlike the Pixel 5, which had inductive speakers on top of the phone, so no little speaker grill, the 5a actually does have an earpiece, and along with that, a speaker for better, I think, stereo sound. Now, of course, I do want to test this to see if it really truly is better. Now let's talk about what's on the back of this phone. And no, I don't mean the camera. I'm talking about one of the features that I feel like doesn't get the credit that it deserves, and that is the fingerprint sensor. I always liked it when they did it on the LG phones. Hell, I liked when they had the volume rockers on the back there. I feel like it's just more natural when using the phone itself. Don't get me wrong, I like it when it's on the front of the phones. I didn't have a problem with that's where it started out. But having it on the back, and even the power button back there, it's just so much more natural. Hey, you know who else feels underappreciated? Me! 98% of you watching this video right now aren't subscribed. Am I doing something wrong? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. But if you do enjoy this type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Okay, now for the camera. This has the same specs as the 4a. However, just because those are the same numbers doesn't mean something hasn't improved on the software side. Yes, the main lens is a 12.2 megapixel with that aperture of 1.7. It handles the 1x zoom and the 2x zoom shots, with the other lens that handles the ever popular wide angle at 16 megapixels. Oh, and of course, let's not forget the front-facing camera, which is tucked away in that little hole punch, and that is still an 8 megapixel sensor. Now, I look forward to comparing this to the 5, maybe as well as some other devices in that price range. Perhaps the 12 Pro Max? I know it's a little bit of an unfair comparison, but it's still fun. Now, of course, what you get in the box is, lo and behold, a wall wart. Holy cow. You also get the USB to USB-C dongle, which you can transfer your information, as well as a USB-C to USB-C cable. That's it. Moving on. At this point, setting up the phones is like filling out your medical form at the doctor. You really don't care about the answers. You just hope it reads auto setup and you can get on with your life. Now, the one thing that I do suggest you not skip is setting up a PIN and the fingerprint scanner. Don't be that guy who has a phone that isn't locked.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
So far, the fingerprint response has been good for the limited time I've been using it. I really don't see that being much of an issue. Of course, you should always have a case and a screen protector on your phone. If I have to keep explaining why, go ahead and just move on. This channel isn't for you and you're not gonna like me. So moving on to the screen on this phone. It is not small. In fact, it's even bigger than the original 4a from last year, which came in at 5.81 inches. But I didn't get my hands on one of those devices last year, so it's kind of tough to compare. But what I can do is compare it to the 12 Pro Max. That thing is big. And this is pretty close to it. So it's a decent sized phone. Now, because the 5a is more rounded, it definitely feels like it's smaller and easy to handle. And of course, compared to the Pixel 5, it's a little bit taller. Now, I need to use it some more before I can give my opinion on whether I like it better than the size of the 5, but more on that later. Now, since this phone is bigger, you'll be happy to learn that the battery has gotten exponentially bigger. The 4A did come with a 3140 milliamp battery, but the 5A has a whopping 4680 milliamp battery. Now, I'm going to be extremely interested to see how this goes, as it's going to be my daily driver, and I want to see the results I can get. Because let's be honest, I've been able to kill phones getting up at 5:30 in the morning, probably till about 2 o'clock. So again, I'm excited to try this out. One thing that is missing on this device, and that is wireless charging, but for a budget phone, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. I'll be honest with you, I'd rather have the extra space for a larger battery, to be honest. And again, for a phone that comes in at 449 bucks, that's not bad at all. So while I test this phone out, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at TechExamine to see those photos and videos. And while I work on the review video and a couple more videos in between that, get and check out this playlist I did on other Pixel devices I have tried before this one. And of course, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, click on that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. I'll see you guys later.